everyone, my name's Anthony Cummins and today we're going to be following on from a video I did the other day and from a response video from Krista from Budo Ryu. Now we're discussing ninja magic and witchcraft and how much witchcraft is a part of ninjutsu. Now today I'm going to be reading from Iga and Koka Ninja Skills, just to give you a bit of insight there. And what I'm going to do today is separate for those out there the difference between magic and illusion for the ninja or for Japanese people. Now so far we've been discussing witchcraft in ninjutsu and how much does witchcraft affect ninjutsu and how much is it in ninjutsu. We have to be careful here. A few words have been bandied out for many years, and the main one that's been going around the community is genjutsu. Now, in the past, books have been written, talks have been said about how genjutsu is not ninjutsu. But then a lot of people have concentrated on what genjutsu is and not, for the reason that it's not ninjutsu. Now, the difference is that we have basically two forms. You've got genjutsu, which means illusion, i.e. tricks of the hand, street magic, deception, that type of thing. So, things people do with coins or tricks they do in the pub or street illusionists, all that type of stuff. Basically, it's a trick you learn as a human to make you seem superhuman, but it's just a trick. That's genjutsu, that's illusion. Then maho, there's lots of words for this, but maho is the main one going around at the moment, which is basically translated as magic. That's the changing of your environment through supernatural powers, i.e. true or magic proper. So what we've got to realise is that in ninjutsu and in Japanese understanding, you've really got to divide the two. You've got genjutsu on one side, which is illusion, trickery, and really doesn't come into ninjutsu too much. And on the other side, you've got maho, which is a massive part of ninjutsu. So what you need to do is think about it this way. Genjutsu is very small and very much at the side and not really connected to ninjutsu. Not really. Maho is a staple, core, central belief, or real magic. Witchcraft is a central belief in ninjutsu. So what I'll do today, I'm going to read from Chikamatsu, which is, again, it's Iga and Koka Ninja Skills by Anthony Cummins and Yoshie Minami. And what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to read an extract from something that was written in about the 1700s, 1775, around there. So it's a little bit long, but you'll see what I'm saying. The writing of Sun Tzu was transmitted from China, and the traditions of the 5 types of spy correspond with the traditions used by the shinobi in our country. Therefore, those who learn the art of warfare have studied this text in depth, i.e. the 13th chapter of Sun Tzu. Those shinobi no mono from the 2 lines of Koka and Iga studied this chapter on the use of spies very closely and examined it deeply, and thought of this text as the most fundamental and essential of things. They studied this until the Middle Ages. However, these days, i.e. 1770s, 1780s, the art of the shinobi has been reduced to an art which only deals with crossing over moats or rivers, climbing up steep places, crossing over marshes, crossing over a high wall, changing appearances and deceiving common people. It is put in the same category as the so-called ways of maho magic or yojutsu, the black art, and has become humble. And it is to be performed by common people. Now what this means is it's a little bit dangerous territory, because he's saying that maho is quite shallow, or not shallow, it's quite low level, and that the shinobi is much deeper. So the ninja arts are much deeper than that. They're not just crossing walls, crossing moats. It's about building a spy network, infiltrating the enemy ranks. And of course, as we know in context, that magic is in there. But illusion and street performance is not even part of ninjutsu. The only way you could say it's part of ninjutsu is if you possibly said that you used it to infiltrate a province. But that would be one way out of hundreds that you could use. You could be a horse trader, cattle trader, you could be a lumberjack, you could be a moving, tradesman, you could be all sorts of things, you could be a priest, and a street illusionist could be one of them. But my point being is it's such a small idea and small part that it's not really very practical to say it was a big part of ninjutsu. So what happens there is that we know that Yojitsu... What I'm trying to point out there is that the people after the Sengoku period, like the Middle Ages, the darker ages before the modern times of the period of enlightenment, which was the Edo period, which is basically the period where there was no wars and people started looking into things. The difference today is that people are culturally enlightened and tend to learn academically and be more reasonable. This is what they were saying in the last chapter before, where in the old days it was, there was more, it was deeper, there was more to it. But in the newer days, in the period of peace, there's less to it, it's diluted. So many people do not use or learn hidden secret skills which have been passed down from ancient times. For example, listening and observing, toothpick hiding, the fingernail catching skill. These are regarded as unreasonable and magical and even as heretical skills, and people often follow up by quoting the following saying. The saying is, there should be nothing mystical about any righteous path, i.e. there should be no mumbo jumbo, no magic. This resort of theirs is truly an example of saying shallow cleverness prevents you from travelling on the righteous path. In those secret ways or skills invented by ancient people, there are numerous things that look unreasonable or unrighteous to the eyes of modern people. But in fact, they have actual benefits and miraculously do work. These miraculous skills seem unreasonable, but this is because others do not reach deep down inside of the way of these things. But you must note, there is reason found within these ancient ways, if you understand the truth of them. Not having understood such deep reasoning, people do not believe and abandon those skills, thinking they are evil and magical. So in the same ninja manual from the same period, by the same author, you've got he's saying that deep parts of ninjutsu are maho, they are magical, they are witchcraft. And people who don't believe in that only see the shallow side of things. So what this says to us, what I'm trying to say and what I'm getting across is that when we band about the terms genjutsu, maho, we roll them off, quite easily, but the difference between the two is drastic. At one end, you've got your very cheap card trickster, on the street corner, conning people out of a few pounds. And at the other end, you've got a deep magical tradition of esoteric beliefs, powers of the universe, dark and ancient and possibly black witchcraft, things that are steeped in the arts of the gods, the idea that the gods come down and give you power. The difference between the two is just phenomenal. So when you're thinking of ninjutsu, don't think of the word magic and illusion in the same vein. Illusion is the shallow, the temporary, the nothing. Magic is the skills given by the gods. So again, just to sort of clear up for those people who've not done much research on it, is you've got to be careful of the word genjutsu and maho. Separate them and put yourself next to maho, which is magic, and keep genjutsu, illusion, as simply a very shallow form of sometimes you may use when you wish to infiltrate an enemy province, things like that. Okay guys, my name's Anthony Cummins. I hope you enjoyed that. Give me your comments below, guys. Have a good conversation about this. What are the different types of magic? Should a ninja really believe in the power of the gods? Things like that. Other words that we get confused with and other words that people misuse. Alright, see you later.